Every moment of your life is a reflection of who you believe yourself to be. You are never waiting to be chosen, you are only ever revealing the state of being chosen. The great secret is that nothing and no one outside of you decides your worth. The moment you decide you are the one, life rearranges itself to confirm your choice. It is not arrogance, it is divine remembrance. Everything you experience in life is a reflection of what you assume to be true about yourself. The outer world is not a cause, it is an effect. It faithfully mirrors your inner convictions, your silent self-concept, and the assumptions you hold, whether you are aware of them or not. The truth is, you are not reacting to life, you are continuously creating it from within. The people you meet, the opportunities you attract, and even the obstacles you face all unfold in alignment with your dominant state of being. You cannot escape your own assumptions, for they are the invisible blueprint from which your reality takes shape. When you understand that your outer world is a mirror, you stop trying to manipulate circumstances and begin to transform your inner dialogue. You realize that to change what you see, you must first change what you believe. Every thought impregnated with feeling becomes a seed planted in the fertile soil of consciousness. In time, that seed must grow and express itself in your external world. So when you look around and see lack, rejection, or indifference, it is not life being cruel. It is life being obedient. It is reflecting back the state of mind you have unconsciously accepted as true. You can never experience what you are not conscious of being. If you assume you are unwanted, the world will play the role of confirming that belief. If you assume you are loved, valued, and chosen, the world will rise to prove it. This is not magic, it is law. Life has no choice but to mirror the contents of your consciousness. The outer cannot resist the inner any more than a reflection in a mirror can move independently of the face that looks into it. This truth invites a profound sense of responsibility. It means that you are not a victim of circumstances but the author of them. You are the dreamer in the dream. The world responds to you not as you wish it to, but as you are. The tone of your inner conversations determines the texture of your life. Every time you affirm silently, "No one ever chooses me," or "Nothing ever works out for me," you are instructing reality to make those words flesh. Likewise, when you gently declare, "I am loved, I am chosen, I am successful," you awaken those possibilities within yourself, and the world is compelled to echo them back. The power lies not in repeating words, but in feeling their truth. The universe responds not to words alone, but to vibration, the emotional conviction behind your assumption. To think, "I am loved," while feeling lonely is to create confusion in your reality. But to think it and feel it as already true, even before the evidence appears, is to activate the unseen creative power that governs all things. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and persist in it even when appearances contradict it. For appearances are nothing but the shadow of past assumptions. They have no life of their own. The moment you dare to assume a new state of being, the invisible forces of life begin to rearrange themselves. People move, circumstances shift, and time bends to accommodate your inner conviction. But this change often happens silently, beneath the surface of what you can see. You may be tempted to doubt when nothing seems to happen immediately. Yet that is the precise moment faith is required, to remain loyal to your inner reality even when the outer has not yet caught up. The outer always follows, it cannot lead. Consider the one who constantly worries about being abandoned. Their relationships inevitably mirror their fear, for the assumption of loss is already alive within them. But if that same person begins to live from the feeling of being secure, cherished, and chosen, their world transforms. They no longer act from need or fear, but from fullness. And as their inner self-concept changes, others cannot help but respond differently. The mirror must obey the image it reflects. This is why your inner state is the true foundation of every creation. The mind that feels unworthy will sabotage every blessing until it matches its assumption. The mind that feels chosen will attract love effortlessly because it can only experience what it believes itself to be. There is no trick to it, only alignment. You cannot hold the vibration of being unwanted and expect the world to show you otherwise. You must first feel yourself as the one who is already loved, already seen, already enough. Every assumption is a command to the universe. Whether whispered in thought or felt in silence, it declares what must be. When you take control of that inner dialogue and begin to affirm only what you wish to experience, your life becomes an unfolding reflection of your chosen identity. The outer world ceases to intimidate you because you know it has no power of its own. You are the cause, it is the effect. So the question is never, when will it happen? But rather, who am I being? For when you shift your assumption, the world has no choice but to follow. The mirror cannot resist your reflection. It is bound by law to reproduce whatever image you present to it. Therefore, if you wish to see beauty, love, and abundance in the world, assume it within. Feel it real. Persist in it. For the inner assumption always creates the outer reality. To be chosen is not something that happens to you, it is something you choose to be. It is not a prize handed to the worthy, but a state of consciousness one assumes with quiet certainty. When you live as the chosen one, you are no longer waiting for life or others to validate your worth. You are no longer seeking approval or reassurance from the outside world. You move through existence knowing that your value was never in question to begin with. The sense of being chosen is not a reaction to what someone else does or says. It is a declaration of identity that reshapes the entire field of your reality. The person who lives as the chosen one walks differently. There is no rush, no chase, no anxiety about outcomes. They carry themselves with a calm that speaks of inner assurance. It is not arrogance or pride. It is the quiet recognition that what they desire is already theirs by divine right. They have stopped searching for signs of love or worth and have begun to radiate them instead. This shift changes everything, because when you live from the end, when you assume the feeling of being chosen already, life begins to mirror that assumption with stunning precision. Most people believe they will feel chosen once someone else chooses them. They wait for a relationship, a career, or some external sign to confirm what they secretly doubt. But this is backwards. The outer world cannot offer what you have not already accepted within yourself. If you feel unchosen, unwanted, or overlooked inside, even the love you attract will seem fleeting or uncertain. But once you assume that you are the chosen one, without conditions, without needing anyone to prove it, life reorganizes itself to make that truth visible. Circumstances, people, and events begin to reflect your inner conviction. Being chosen is a state of being that transcends appearances. It means standing firm in your inner knowing even when the evidence has not yet caught up. It means walking as though what you desire is already accomplished. You no longer plead with life, you command it through faith. The chosen one does not chase after love, they are love embodied. They do not beg for recognition. They move as one who already possesses it. This inner posture creates a magnetic pull that draws everything in harmony with that energy toward you. Every relationship, every opportunity, every expression of abundance begins with your state of being. If you approach life from the vibration of, I hope they choose me, you are affirming separation and lack. You are living as the unchosen. But if you begin from, I am already the chosen one, you rise into a higher dimension of consciousness where you no longer compete or compare. You simply are. And from that state, life must match you. The chosen one never wonders if they are enough, they know that they are. Their faith is not dependent on what they see, it is sustained by what they feel to be true. When you embody the energy of being chosen, everything and everyone that enters your world feels it. You no longer speak from need, you speak from fullness. You no longer seek to impress, you express naturally from love. People are drawn to that energy, for it reminds them of something divine within themselves. They begin to chase not you, but the peace and certainty that radiate from you. You become the living evidence of your assumption, and the world cannot resist reflecting it. To live as the chosen one means you have chosen yourself first. You have decided to see your own beauty, to honor your own worth, to value your own presence. You have released the idea that someone else must confirm what you already know. You no longer move from reaction, you move from creation. Every action, every word, every thought is infused with the knowing that you are already enough. From that place, you stop asking, why don't they love me? And begin to affirm, I am love itself. And as you persist in that state, the universe conspires to prove you right. Life mirrors the conviction of your heart. The one who feels chosen will always find themselves surrounded by opportunities, by affection, by doors opening where once there were walls. The world cannot help but reorganize around the energy you hold. When you truly believe you are chosen, your energy shifts into alignment with abundance. You stop waiting and start receiving. You stop doubting and start living as though everything is unfolding perfectly in your favor. And it does. You are not chosen because someone else sees your worth. They see your worth because you have already chosen yourself. This truth reverses the entire structure of human experience. The moment you choose yourself completely, without hesitation or apology, you become magnetic. The energy of certainty is irresistible. The vibration of self-acceptance is unshakable. Life bows to that kind of faith. So to live as the chosen one is not to wait for proof, but to become the proof. It is to embody the feeling before the evidence appears. When you rise each day knowing that you are already chosen, loved, and wanted, you move differently. You think differently. And life, being nothing more than a mirror, has no choice but to reflect your conviction in every direction. Feeling is the invisible bridge between the unseen and the seen, between imagination and manifestation. It is the secret language through which creation hears you. Words alone are powerless if they are not infused with emotion, because the universe does not respond to what you say, it responds to what you feel to be true. Every event, every person, every experience that enters your life is a reflection of the vibration you hold within yourself. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you feel. To feel is to give life to thought. A thought without feeling is like a seed without soil. It cannot grow, it cannot root itself in reality. But once you feel something as real, even before the evidence appears, it begins to move through the unseen currents of consciousness, drawing to you everything necessary to make it visible. The moment you feel loved, even without a single sign of it in your outer world, you have entered into a state where love must find you. The moment you feel wanted, the reflection of that feeling begins to take shape in people and circumstances that confirm it. The outer world is slow to catch up because it is the shadow of your inner state. Many live in the waiting posture. They wait to feel loved until someone loves them. They wait to feel successful until success appears. They wait to feel abundant until money comes. Yet creation does not work that way. You must feel first, for the feeling is the cause and the physical evidence is the effect. To reverse the order is to live in perpetual delay, for the mirror cannot reflect until an image is presented to it. Feeling is the prayer that never fails. You can affirm all day that you are loved, but if you still feel unloved, life will respond to your emotion, not your words. The secret is not in speaking the truth, but in feeling it. When you close your eyes and enter the inner world, you can choose to feel what you desire as if it were already true. You can imagine the warmth of being held, the peace of being understood, the comfort of being chosen. That inner experience, repeated and cherished, begins to build a new state of being within you. And that state will eventually harden into fact. Every creation begins in the unseen realm of feeling. When you generate the emotion of your desired state, you are aligning yourself with its frequency. The world is an echo chamber of vibration. It must return to you what you have already expressed within. So if you dwell in the feeling of loneliness, you summon experiences that confirm isolation. If you dwell in the feeling of being loved, you magnetize encounters that validate affection and belonging. You are always in communication with creation, whether you know it or not, and feeling is the language you are speaking. To master feeling is to master reality. It requires the courage to feel before reason says you should. It asks you to trust the invisible and to rest in the unseen certainty that what you feel deeply and consistently will come to pass. When your senses tell you that you are alone, you must still feel accompanied. When life appears indifferent, you must still feel adored. This is the essence of faith, to remain loyal to the unseen assumption even when every appearance denies it. Feeling is not about forcing emotion, but about surrendering into the truth of what you wish to experience. It is a gentle allowing, a quiet confidence that rests in the knowing that your inner world creates the outer. To feel love does not mean to pretend or to chase the sensation. It means to relax into the awareness that love is already present within you. When you feel it as real, it begins to flow through you and radiate outward, touching everyone and everything around you. The feeling of being wanted must come before its confirmation, because you are not attracting love from others, you are awakening it within yourself. Others can only meet you at the level of your own vibration. If you feel neglected, you will encounter people who mirror neglect. If you feel chosen, you will attract those who recognize your worth instantly. The feeling comes first always. The outer is merely a reflection, delayed but inevitable. So much of life changes when you stop waiting and start feeling. Instead of asking, when will love arrive? You begin to declare, love is here and I can feel it. Instead of wondering, when will they notice me? You affirm silently, I am already seen and valued. This shift from waiting to feeling transforms the entire landscape of your life. You are no longer a beggar for love. You become the source of it. Creation listens only to the tone of your inner emotion. The tone of certainty creates certainty. The tone of gratitude brings more to be grateful for. The tone of love multiplies love in every direction. When you hold the feeling of your desire long enough, the outer world becomes its echo. It cannot resist your vibration. What you feel deeply and persistently must take form. So when you long to be loved, do not wait for proof. Feel it now. When you wish to be wanted, do not plead for attention. Embody the feeling of being chosen already. Let your heart speak the language of creation, for it is the only voice the universe truly hears. Life does not respond to how hard you try, it responds to who you are being. The energy you carry within is far more powerful than any action you take. Effort belongs to the realm of striving and chasing, but creation belongs to the realm of being. You do not attract by effort, you reflect by identity. What shows up in your life is not the result of struggle, but the natural outpicturing of your self-concept. You draw to you what you are conscious of being, not what you are hoping to become. When you chase, you are affirming separation. You are declaring that what you desire is outside of you, somewhere distant, something to be earned or proven. But when you embody the identity of the one who already has it, you enter into alignment with it. You become the vibration of the thing itself, and it must appear. The magnetic force of identity is effortless. You do not run after love, success, or peace. You rest in the knowing that these things are natural expressions of who you already are. The outer world simply reflects the inner agreement you have made with yourself. So many people exhaust themselves trying to make life work. They believe that more effort will create better results, that more chasing will guarantee closeness, that more control will bring security. Yet the harder they try, the further their desires seem to move away. This happens because their effort is born of doubt. Effort that stems from lack only reinforces the belief that something is missing. When you are certain, you no longer chase, you allow. You no longer demand, you embody. The one who knows they are loved does not beg for attention. Their calm confidence draws it naturally. Identity is the true magnet. You cannot experience what contradicts who you believe you are. If you see yourself as unwanted, you will unconsciously act in ways that confirm that story. If you see yourself as chosen, the world will mirror that conviction with precision. This is why being matters more than doing. When you are anchored in a state of knowing, even the smallest action carries power. When you are rooted in doubt, even the greatest effort produces resistance. It is not what you do, but the energy from which you do it that determines the result. Imagine a person trying to win love through effort, through constant proving, pleasing, or chasing. Their energy communicates lack, and the world responds accordingly. But imagine another who simply knows they are worthy of love, who carries that belief quietly within them. They do not need to chase or convince anyone, because their energy already communicates fulfillment. Others feel drawn to them not because of what they do, but because of what they are being. The first seeks to get love, the second expresses it. And it is always expression, not pursuit, that creates attraction. When you stop trying so hard to make things happen and begin to assume the identity of the one who already has, you enter the flow of creation. You move from force to faith. Things begin to unfold with grace and ease because your vibration is clear and consistent. You have ceased to contradict your own desire with doubt. You no longer wake up hoping to attract something. You wake up remembering who you are. That remembrance is the true key to magnetism. The energy of being is quiet but powerful. It does not announce itself, yet it changes everything it touches. When you embody the feeling of peace, peace finds you in every form. When you embody love, others cannot help but respond with affection. When you embody abundance, opportunities begin to gather around you. None of this happens because you are striving. It happens because your inner state has become magnetic. You are no longer sending mixed signals to the universe. You are radiating a clear identity. This is why all true transformation begins within. The moment you decide to be what you once tried to get, your outer world begins to shift. If you wish to attract love, become love. If you wish to attract confidence, embody confidence. If you wish to attract success, feel the success within you now. You cannot chase what you already are, you can only reflect it. The mirror of life does not respond to begging, it responds to being. Every desire is already fulfilled in potential the moment you assume its reality within. You don't need to work harder, you need to align deeper. When you become one with your desired state, effort dissolves into flow. You are no longer swimming against the current, you are carried by it. Life bends to your conviction because it is your own consciousness projected outward. You reflect what you believe about yourself. The person who knows their worth doesn't need to compete. The one who knows they are loved doesn't need to chase. They attract effortlessly. Not because they are lucky, but because they have learned to live from identity rather than effort. You do not create from desperation, you create from embodiment. The moment you shift from trying to being, everything begins to move in your favor. You become the vibration of what you desire, and life, ever faithful, mirrors it back to you with perfect precision. Faith is the unseen bridge between the invisible and the visible, the silent power that holds its ground when everything on the surface seems to contradict it. It is the unwavering loyalty to what cannot yet be seen, touched, or proven. To have faith is to live from a higher truth, one that exists beyond the reach of logic and the evidence of the senses. Faith does not ask for proof, it creates it. It is the unseen conviction that molds the seen world. To persist in the unseen reality until it hardens into fact is to understand the true nature of creation. Everything begins as an invisible assumption before it takes form. Faith is not passive, it is the most active force in existence. It requires strength to remain loyal to what the eyes cannot yet confirm. It demands inner steadiness when appearances scream the opposite. The one who practices faith knows that the outer world is slow to catch up, but it always does. They know that reality is malleable, obedient to the consciousness that shapes it. When you believe in something with your entire being, when you refuse to be swayed by temporary conditions, you become the architect of the unseen. The invisible world responds to your loyalty and begins to reorganize itself to mirror your conviction. Every great change in life begins with faith. You cannot wait to see results before believing, because seeing is not believing, believing is seeing. The evidence of faith comes only after persistence. Most people give up too soon. They look at appearances, see no sign of progress, and abandon their inner assumption. But faith asks that you hold steady. It asks that you remain loyal to the end you have already imagined, knowing that what you feel and persist in inwardly must eventually crystallize outwardly. The world has no choice but to obey the vibration of your conviction. Faith is not wishful thinking or blind hope. It is deliberate consciousness. It is the quiet confidence that what you have imagined is already real in the unseen dimension of life. Every time you return to that inner state, you water the seed of your creation. Though nothing may appear to change at first, movement is happening beneath the surface. Just as a seed takes time to break through the soil, so too does your assumption take time to express itself in the physical world. But the outcome is certain because faith sustains it. To live by faith is to see beyond appearances. You no longer allow the outer world to dictate your inner state. When love seems absent, faith insists that you are already loved. When money appears scarce, faith knows that abundance is already yours. When a situation looks hopeless, faith holds to the unseen solution that has already been formed. Faith does not deny what is seen, it transcends it. It acknowledges the present condition but refuses to accept it as final. It knows that the outer is only a temporary shadow and that the true substance of life exists within. The power of faith lies in persistence. It is not the strength of your emotion that matters most, but the consistency of your loyalty. When you persist in the unseen long enough, the invisible must take form. Reality begins to bend around your inner certainty. People, events, and coincidences align in mysterious ways to fulfill the pattern of your belief. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. This is the law of life. Consciousness is the only cause, and faith is its movement. To remain loyal to the invisible is to trust that the unseen is more real than the seen. It is to hold your inner vision so steadily that the world eventually yields to it. There may be moments when doubt whispers, when the old reality seems too strong to break. But faith does not fight with appearances, it rests in quiet assurance. It says, "This too shall pass, for I have already chosen the end." It knows that time itself must serve the one who believes. Faith transforms the invisible idea into visible experience. Every miracle ever witnessed began as an act of inner persistence. Someone somewhere refused to accept limitation as final. They lived from the invisible until it became visible. You are called to do the same, to hold the unseen truth of your desire as if it were already complete. The more you return to that inner state, the faster it solidifies in your outer world. Faith is the art of loyalty to your unseen assumption. It is the refusal to be moved by circumstances, the choice to see with the eyes of imagination rather than the eyes of fear. When you remain loyal to the invisible long enough, the invisible becomes the visible, the imagined becomes the experienced, and what once was a dream becomes your reality. The unseen, sustained through faith, always hardens into fact. Everything in life is energy, and every relationship is a mirror of the energy you hold within. People do not respond to your words, your appearance, or even your actions as much as they respond to the vibration you emit. The unseen energy of your inner state speaks louder than anything you could ever say. When you radiate the vibration of being chosen, loved, and valued, others are irresistibly drawn to that feeling. not because of who you are externally, but because of what they feel in your presence. They chase not the person, but the energy you carry. Energy is silent but unmistakable. It cannot be faked or hidden for long because it originates from belief. When you truly know yourself as chosen, your energy shifts into alignment with love, security, and peace. You no longer reach outward for validation because you already feel whole. That wholeness radiates from you like light from the sun. People feel it before they even understand why they're drawn to you. The sense of ease, the calm certainty, the quiet confidence, all of it becomes magnetic. Others may think they are attracted to you, but what they truly seek is the feeling of alignment they experience when they are near you. When someone is desperate, needy, or uncertain, that energy repels rather than attracts. It communicates lack, and the world mirrors it back through indifference or rejection. But when someone stands rooted in the knowing that they are already chosen, their energy communicates fulfillment. They need nothing from anyone because they already possess the feeling of love within. This is what draws others in. The invisible frequency of completeness. Love responds to love, certainty responds to certainty, and what you feel within is echoed back by everyone around you. You become magnetic not by chasing attention, but by radiating the energy of having already been chosen. Every word you speak, every movement you make carries the vibration of your inner belief. If you believe you are chosen, the tone of your voice changes. Your body language softens. Your eyes carry warmth instead of fear. You no longer ask silently, "Do they want me?" Because you already know the answer within yourself. That knowing becomes irresistible because it awakens something familiar in others, the desire to feel that same certainty, that same peace. They chase the feeling of security you embody because it feels like home. This is why changing your energy changes everything. The people in your life, the opportunities that appear, even the way strangers treat you, all begin to reflect the vibration you hold. When you move from the frequency of lack to that of love, your world reorganizes to match it. The moment you decide that you are already chosen, the mirror of reality adjusts. You stop needing others to prove your worth and start expressing the truth of it naturally. That expression, that ease, that quiet confidence is what draws others toward you like a current. It is never about forcing anyone to notice you. True attraction happens without effort. It flows naturally because energy recognizes energy. When you are aligned with the feeling of being chosen, people sense it subconsciously. They feel safe around you. They feel seen, valued, and accepted, not because of anything you do to them, but because your energy is one of love and security. They crave that feeling because deep down, every soul longs to return to that vibration of wholeness. In your presence, they are reminded of what they truly are. That is the real reason they chase. You reflect to them the energy they want to feel. Your energy is a silent invitation. If it carries doubt, you invite uncertainty. If it carries confidence, you invite connection. If it carries love, you invite more love. You are constantly teaching others how to treat you through the frequency you hold within. When you embody the feeling of being chosen, you no longer tolerate energies that don't align with that truth. You begin to attract relationships that mirror your self-concept, those that honor, cherish, and value you as you value yourself. When you radiate this energy consistently, life begins to flow differently. You notice that people approach you more, conversations open easily, and opportunities arise with little effort. You are not chasing them, they are responding to your vibration. The magnetic field of certainty, peace, and love that surrounds you becomes undeniable. You become a living reminder of what it feels like to be whole. And those who cross your path are drawn in, not because they see you as an object of desire, but because they feel your energy and long to experience it for themselves. To radiate the vibration of being chosen is to become a beacon of love and self-assurance. It is to live in harmony with the truth that you are already enough. You no longer question, you no longer seek, you no longer chase. You simply exist in the calm knowing that what you embody must return to you multiplied. The energy you hold becomes your silent message to the universe, and the universe responds faithfully. Everything and everyone that resonates with that energy begins to move toward you. You are never truly chasing or attracting anything. You are only ever reflecting. The world mirrors the energy you believe yourself to be. So if you desire to be loved, radiate love. If you wish to be chosen, feel chosen. When you live in that vibration, the chase ends, because the world is already chasing the energy you hold within. In the end, everything returns to the truth within you. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are simply remembering that you always were. The outer world is only catching up to the inner conviction you've dared to embody. When you stand in the energy of being loved, valued, and desired, life has no choice but to echo that belief back to you. You no longer chase love because love recognizes itself in you. You no longer seek validation because your presence itself becomes the confirmation. Live as the chosen one and watch how effortlessly the world begins to respond. Thank you.